Welcome to another episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show. I am your host, David Hittle, a realtor, real estate agent with United Real Estate Louisville. And every Sunday, I come on to Facebook and YouTube and I do the David Hittle Real Estate Show because one, I enjoy doing it. Two, I enjoy teaching and educating people about what is happening in the real estate market. And three, because it's needed. It is definitely needed, especially in today's market. So today is Sunday. Of course, it is the last Sunday of September. Next Sunday will be the start of October, and we are already in fall. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to go check out the beautiful weather outside. I spent a few minutes out there before I came back in to do the show today, but it is an absolutely beautiful day. I have seen birds. I saw a frog, and I saw a butterfly, a monarch butterfly in the yard earlier today. So it is a very beautiful day, and it is a day that's absolutely amazing. Today is actually National Rivers Day. So if you do have a chance to go down to a river, just go down to a river and sit beside it and relax and listen to the water flow. It is amazing what happens in our lives when we take away all distractions and we just sit and we ponder and we just listen to nature. So today, Rivers Day, go out and check that out. So on the show today, we're going to be talking about a few things. From the seller's perspective today. And the first of the topics will be, will my house still sell in today's market? And give you the short answer to that is yes. And then we're going to talk about the top reasons why homeowners are actually selling right now. We're going to talk about if you are watching the stock market. Oh my good golly gosh, what is happening to the stock market? You can always check the value of your home for some good news. And finally, we're going to talk about what the experts say is going to happen with home prices next year. So let's get started. But before we do, if you have not visited my website is Shopkentuckyhomes.com, all spelled out. Shopkentuckyhomes.com. And on that website, you can search for your next home. You can get a home valuation for your current home. You can get a market report for your neighborhood, for your zip code. You can see what is happening in the market without having to call me and ask me about it. Now, I don't mind if you call me and ask me what's happening in your individual markets. I would be more than happy to look over the data for you. But my website will allow you to do that on your own time, in your own pace, or at your own pace. And it is an absolutely amazing website. I thank United Real Estate Louisville for having them built for us. They are very beautiful and they work like a charm. So please visit my website. Again, it is shopkentuckyhomes.com, all spelled out. So will my house still sell in today's market? So I gave you the short answer of that, which is yes. But I know headlines are talking about the housing market cooling and buyer demand moderating, and maybe you are worried that you have missed your chance to sell. But here's what you need to know, and this is not what the media is saying, because the media gets paid to scare you. Literally, figuratively, The media gave us the expression that blood sells. They also gave us the expression that other things sell, but we're not going to talk about those things here on the show. The media is not talking about the fact that buyer demand has not disappeared. Buyer demand has not disappeared. It has just eased from the peak intensity that we saw over the past 2 years. And there is actual proof of that. The Louisville Realtors here locally, they send us realtors out an email every week, and it talks about what the sales figures are looking like, what the active figures are looking like, and here's what this is what it said for residential, single family, and condo. So last week, there were 507 listings that hit the market in that week. This year, 410. So down slightly, less than 100. Solds last week, 412 versus this year, 273. The year-to-date new listings last year were 17,472. And so far this year, year-to-date new listings is 16,462. So homes are selling just at a slower pace. We don't have as much inventory this year as we had last year. Even with inventory actually going up this year, it's actually down annually here in our local market. And then year-to-date solds last year at this point, we were at 14,044 single family and condos sold here in Louisville. And this year we're at 12,774. So the demand is still there. We are seeing hundreds of homes listed and hundreds of homes sell each week. So if you compare those two numbers or all these numbers together, last week we had 410 homes hit the market and 273 sold. Now, it doesn't mean that 273 of the new 410 were sold, but we had more listings hitting the market than we did sales. But demand is still there. And that is what is important if you are thinking of selling a home. Because if you're going to sell your home, you want to sell the home for top dollar and you want to sell it when there is still buyer demand. Looking at the figures, looking at the data, in January of 2021, nationwide, showings were at 238. Now, this is an index, so don't correlate that to actual showing numbers. But the showing index, monthly showing index in January of 2021 was 238. This year, it is 158. So showings are now below last year's level, and they have been for quite some time. We did see a peak in March. There was a peak in February, and there was actually a peak in January of this year where we saw the index at 254, 271, and 285. But as the season progressed, as April turned to May, turned to June, turned to July, we have seen that the number of showings are decreasing. But demand is still there because you are still seeing people wanting to purchase homes, even in this high mortgage rate, high price situation. Showings are above the pre-pandemic numbers, which is important to think about. In 2017, that same index was 124.7. In 2028, it was 123.8. 2019 was 123.6. Then we get into pandemic years. We had a 199, a 189.4 in 2021, and a 158 for this year's average. So demand is still higher than pre-pandemic numbers. These past 3 years have been a boom for real estate. Real estate prices, as you know, have skyrocketed over the past 3 years. What is coming is going to be a moderation of the increase in home values. We all are predicting, experts, people smarter than me, are predicting that home prices are going to continue to rise, just at a more moderate pace. But what does that mean for you when it's time for you to sell? The key to selling in a changing market is understanding where the housing market is now. It is not the same market as we had seen last year or even earlier this year, but that doesn't mean the opportunity to sell has passed. While things have cooled a bit, it is still a seller's market. You need to work with a trusted local expert who can price your house at the current market value. The demand is still here. It is still here. And it should still sell quickly. According to a recent survey from Realtor.com, 92% of homeowners who sold their home in August reported being satisfied with the outcome of their sale. So that's important. If you want to be satisfied, you need to work with an agent, work with a realtor who can price your home correctly so that it does sell quickly, so that you can move on to your next activity, your next project, your next home. So the bottom line here is buyer demand has not disappeared, though the media may tell you otherwise. Buyer demand has not disappeared. It has just moderated this year. And if you are ready to sell your house today, we should connect, David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville, so that you have expert insights on how the market has shifted in our area and how to plan accordingly for your sale. So it's really easy. You can visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes.com, and up at the top, there's a button that says sell. And if you click on that button, you're able to type in your address. And as soon as you click get report, it will automatically generate and pop up for you your home valuation. Now they base it on three different numbers from three different estimating systems. They have Zillow on there for those who like Zillow. I believe they have ATTOM data solutions. I've talked about them here on the show before, and they have one other. Now, with that, you won't be bothered. What happens if you put that in, you put your address into that system, the only thing it will generate for me is an address. So it basically tells me that someone has viewed a home valuation via my website. However, if you are actually interested in selling your home, and hopefully purchasing a new one. Don't go from owning to renting. But if you are looking to sell your home, then you can go down the page and click a button, click a different button that will give you a report of how many buyers I know of that are in my database with you that want to purchase a home like yours. And from there, you can figure out whether or not it's a good time to sell your home. And by providing that information, of course, you get put into my database with your with your information. But it allows me to be able to contact you, but it also allows you to not be disturbed by me if you're just wanting to know your home's value. So check that out, shopkentuckyhomes.com, and click on sell at the top of the page and check out how much your home is worth today. So people are still selling their homes. There are a lot of homeowners out there that are selling right now. We have over 2,000 listings here in Louisville. There are over 2,000 listings in the Lexington market, and there are over 700 listings in the Northern Kentucky market. They're all in total in our little area, in our 3-sectioned area of Louisville, Northern Kentucky, and Lexington. There are over 5,000 homes for sale right now. So why are people selling their homes? Don't these people understand that interest rates have gone up and prices are just going to keep going up forever and ever? And what are the top reasons why homeowners are selling their homes right now? Some people are reluctant. A lot of people are reluctant. Some people believe there's a group of homeowners who may be reluctant to sell their houses because they don't want to lose the historically low mortgage rate they have on their current home. You may even have the same hesitation if you were thinking about selling your house. Data shows that 51% of homeowners have a mortgage rate under 4% as of April of this year. And while it's true mortgage rates are higher than that right now, there are other financial factors that you should consider when it comes to making a move. In other words, your mortgage rate is important, but you may have other things going on in your life that make a move essential, regardless of where rates are today. Jessica Louts, the Vice President of Demographics and Behavioral Insights, it's a great title, at the National Association of Realtors, which I am a member of, explains it this way: home sellers have historically moved when something in their lives changed. A new baby, a marriage, a divorce, or a new job. So if you're thinking about selling your house, it may help to explore the other reasons why homeowners are choosing to make a move today. Realtor.com puts out the 2022 Summer Sellers Survey, and they asked recent home sellers why they decided to sell. Well, 31% of those homeowners who just sold said that they wanted different features or amenities in their home. 29% said that their home no longer met their needs. 26% said they needed a home office in order to work. 23% said they wanted to be closer to loved ones. 22% said they wanted a smaller house that is less work. It's a good idea. And 17% said they no longer need to live near their office. So 17% of those are those individuals that are remote working now and don't have to live in New York City or Chicago or Indianapolis. They can move to a smaller area with less taxes and less traffic and less of all that other stuff that they may not like. So as this shows an appetite for different features or the fact that their current home could no longer meet their needs, top the list for recent sellers. Additionally, remote work and whether or not they need a home office or tied to a specific physical office location also factored in, as did the desire to live close to their loved ones. The Realtor.com survey summarizes it this way. They say, quote, the primary reason that homeowners decided to sell in the last year was the realization that after so much time spent at home, pandemic, after so much time spent at home, they wanted different features and amenities such as walkability, the ability to walk around and actually get somewhere, outdoor space, want to be able to spend time outdoors, but still near each other, and a pool. Who doesn't want a pool? So if you like, if you, like the homeowners they surveyed, find yourself wanting features, space, or amenities your current home just can't provide, it may be time to consider listing your house for sale, because even with today's mortgage rates, your lifestyle needs may be enough to motivate you to make a change. And the best way to find out what's right for you is to partner with a trusted real estate professional. You can partner with me, David Hittle, with United Real Estate Louisville, and I will provide expert guidance and advice throughout the process. And I can help you walk through your options so you make a confident decision based on what matters most to you and your loved ones. The bottom line here is that while the financial reasons for moving are important, there's often far more to consider. Non-financial reasons can also be a significant motivating factor. So if you need help weighing the pros and the cons of selling your house, let's connect today. David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville, so we can explore all those options for you. And it really is. Interest rates are up. My interest rate went up on my house when I sold my house in Louisville and we moved out here to Shelby County. Our house, we needed more space. We have a baby on the way, so we needed more space. Our family was growing. Our little home just wasn't enough anymore. So that was motivation enough to take the bull by the horns and go ahead and make the change and make the switch, even with the higher interest rates. And in fact, I'm glad we did, because today our rate would be higher than it was when we got into our house. So we actually did it at a good time, great price time. Because the prices for our home here in Shelbyville have just skyrocketed since our home was built. So it was a great idea for me. It may be a great idea for you. And if it is, I would love to help. I'd love for you to reach out. You can visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes.com. You can give me a call. You can find my phone number on the website. It's easy to find. But if you've been watching the stock market recently, oh boy, you might not want to look at, if you have a lot dedicated to the stock market, you just might not want to look. You might not want to look. Just what you should look at is you should visit my website, Shopkentuckyhomes.com, and at the top, click sell and type in your address and check out the value of your home. Pardon me, I felt it coming. But that's what you do. Don't look at your investment portfolio. Go to shopkentuckyhomes.com and click sell at the top of the page and put in your address and check out your home's value, because that is going to be where the good news is. Stock market, no. Your brokerage account, no, not good news there at all. So check out my website and click sell and check out your home's value, because that's where the good news is. While watching the stock market recently may have started to feel challenging, checking the value of your home could come as welcome relief in volatile times. So while inflation is making the price of everything more expensive, and while the experts and the government are changing policy to mess with the stock market a little bit and to try to control said inflation, being a homeowner means that your net worth has likely gotten a big boost over the past few years thanks to the rising home prices. Of course, those home prices were also affected by, you guessed it, inflation. That increase in your wealth came in the form of home equity, and here is how that works. Equity is the current value of your home minus what you owe on the loan. So if you buy a $200,000 house and you put down $100,000, you have $100,000 worth of home equity. The difference, because there was a significant imbalance between the number of homes available for sale and the number of buyers looking to make a purchase over the past few years, home prices appreciated or increased substantially. And while there is some rising inventory and rising mortgage rates for sure that have cooled off the market in some recent months, home prices nationally remain strong. And here in Louisville and the surrounding area, they remain strong as well. That's why, according to the latest homeowner equity insights from CoreLogic, the average home equity has grown by $60,000 over the past 12 months. The average homeowner equity has grown by $60,000 over the last 12 months nationwide. So here in Kentucky, that number is about 23,000. Down in Tennessee, they have been, oh my gosh, they have been on fire down there in Tennessee. Their home equity is up $69,000. Indiana was up $35,000. Ohio, $28,000. Big Mama Jamma, Florida down there, up $100,000 on average. Even over in California, they're at $117,000. So those are just some of the areas of the country, of course, and other areas saw a lot of increases. There were none that showed a negative home equity gain. No state showed a negative home equity gain. And that's important. Why is that important? Because when you rent a home or when you rent an apartment, you are paying you're paying your payment, but there is no equity being developed for you. There's no pot that is filling up with money because you paid your rent. When you pay your mortgage, on the other hand, you are decreasing the amount of your loan with each mortgage payment. And therefore, as you decrease your mortgage loan, as you decrease the loan that is on your home, and your home's value continues to go up, that difference is your net worth. It's part of your net worth. It's your equity portion. And for a lot of people, that is a major part of their net worth, their home. So no state in the United States saw a decrease in home equity gains year over year from last year to this year. But why is this so important right now? Well, Lawrence Young, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, trust me, someone a lot smarter than me, explains it this way, quote, "The decline in the stock market has dented overall net worth. It has fallen by $6 trillion. Put that into some perspective. Think about that number. The overall stock market decline has erased $6 trillion worth of net worth from just the first quarter to the second quarter. However, housing wealth has held on, with homeowners' real estate worth, which is, again, home value minus mortgage balance, rising by $1.2 trillion. So that's great. That is great news. And your home adds to your net worth. It makes you have a cushion. It is what a lot of people call your nest egg. Your house is your nest egg. So while equity helps increase your overall net worth, it can also help you achieve other goals like buying your next home. When you sell your current house, the equity you built up comes back to you in the sale, and it may be just what you need to cover a large portion, if not all, of the down payment on your next home. So the bottom line here is volatility in today's stock market. There is volatility in today's stock market, but home equity is still incredibly strong. And to find out just how much equity you have in your current home, connect with me, David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville, or you can visit my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com, and click sell at the top of the page. And you can do an average of the three numbers for the valuation of your home and minus that number from your mortgage loan, how much you still owe on your home. And that number minus how much you owe on your home is a good estimate on how much equity, how much net worth you are receiving from your home. And it's important to remember, it's important to realize, and it's home ownership, owning a home is one of the best investments that you can make, because while home prices and home values don't always go up 25% every single year, they have last year and the previous years. They have gone up by big whopping numbers. I showed a home the other day that year over year, the value of the home had increased over 25%, over a quarter. You think about that on a $400,000 home, that $400,000 home was likely worth $300,000 last year. It had gone up a whole $100,000 in a year. So it is important to keep that in mind when you're talking about your home ownership, and home equity. Now, of course, you don't see any of that money unless you sell your home or take a home equity line, which I would never recommend. But having that type of cushion, having that nest egg, you think about if you purchase a home when you're young, you're in your 30s, and you stay in that home and you get into your 60s or 70s or 80s, what that home's value is. I think about my grandfather. My grandfather, when he bought his home, it was the first home he did. Well, I think it was the first. It's the first home he bought here in Louisville. I think he said he paid something like $12,000, $13,000 for it, and his home today is worth over $155,000. And people in his neighborhood are selling their homes for more than that even. So think about the impact owning a home has on your life. Make sure you can afford it, because I'm not going to get you into a position where you are taking on way more than you can chew. But know that buying a home is not throwing away money. It is not wasted money. It's not putting a pile of money on your table and lighting it on fire. Putting money into your home, purchasing a home and putting a big down payment down is just like taking a large sum of money and putting it into the stock market. Except your home is going up right now while the stock market is going down right now. You get to choose. Which one do you trust more? So finally, today I want to talk about what experts are saying will happen with home prices next year, because that is important. If you are a home seller and you have decided to pull back until 2023, you need to know what the consequences of that are. So experts, of course, they're already starting, because we're heading into the end of the year. They're already starting. Experts are already starting to make their 2023 home price forecast. And as they do, most agree homes will continue to gain value, just at a slower pace. So over the past couple of years, home prices have risen at an unsustainable rate, leaving many to wonder how long it will last. Maybe even people are thinking it's a bubble that's going to burst. If you are asking yourself, what is ahead for the price of my home, know that experts are now answering this question, and it is welcome news for homeowners who may have been led by the media to believe their home would lose value. Historically, home prices have appreciated at a rate near 4%. For 2023, the average of the 6 major forecasters noted 2.5%. Zelman and Associates is actually calling for depreciation, but the other 5 are calling for appreciation, meaning the price of your home is going to increase. Again, the average for all of them was 2.5%, but Fannie Mae, which is a semi-governmental organization that deals with home loans, they are predicting a 4.4% nationwide increase in home values for 2023. HPES is showing a 4.1% prediction. Freddie Mac, another one of the semi-governmental organizations that deals with mortgages, they are quoting 4%. MBA, which is the Mortgage Bankers Association, is predicting a 3.1% rise in home values nationwide next year. The National Association of Realtors is predicting a 2.1% rise in 2023. And finally, again, Zelman is saying a negative 3%. There's always one oddball out. And for this year, these numbers were way off. They were a lot lower than what actually occurred. And we'll be able to see that with market updates. So to understand why experts are calling for appreciation next year, all we need to do is look to the economics of supply and demand. My friend, my hero, I guess, my financial guru, Dave Ramsey, puts it this way: the root of the issue of what drives house prices almost always is supply and demand. Two things are driving the home prices upward. First is the undersupply of homes on the market. We talked about that. There are fewer homes on the market this year here in Louisville, just in the Louisville market, than there was last year. On another hand, fewer homes are selling this year than last year. So it kind of makes sense. Less homes, less sales. But the first, again, is undersupply of homes on the market. That's inventory. Inventory is low. Supply is low across the country. And we still don't have enough homes on the market for the number of people that want to buy them. I saw an article recently that said we need about 4 million homes, brand new construction homes, just to keep pace with current demand. On the other hand, builders, renters need 6 million apartments in order to keep pace with demand for rent. And rental prices are going sky high just the same. We still don't have enough homes on the market for the number of people that want to buy them. To further that point, we are still in a seller's market nationally, and here in Louisville, Lexington, and Northern Kentucky. And in that situation, home prices tend to continue to appreciate. The second part of all this that's driving home prices is that millennials are moving through their peak home buying years. They are the largest demographic behind the baby boomers, and demand isn't going away with them anytime soon. So the bottom line here in all this is that experts are calling for home prices to appreciate next year, although at a slower pace than the previous 3 years. The reason for this is simple. The dynamics of supply and demand are playing out in real estate and will continue to play out in real estate for many, many years to come. So again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. If this is the first time that you've tuned in, or the second time, or you tune in every week, please hit the like button on my videos. It helps create the algorithm and messes with the algorithm that makes YouTube love the video even more, and they're able to spread it to more people so more people understand what's happening in our real estate market. If you know of someone in particular that you think needs to see this video, just click that share button and send it over to them and let them watch it, and just be like, hey, Joe, you need to watch this because this guy knows what he's talking about. I try. But always, if you can, hit the like button. If you're here on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, here on Facebook, if we're not friends on Facebook, please connect with me. And I can invite you to my Facebook real estate page so that you can keep track of daily housing market news as well. So this is David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville, coming to you from beautiful Shelbyville, Kentucky. It is a beautiful day. It is Rivers Day. So go out and see if you can't find a river to just relax beside. And until next Sunday, it will be October. Heading into October, it's getting cooler out there. Till next Sunday, I want to thank everyone for watching, and I want you all to have a great night.